Hello, everybody. My name is Gary Yao, and today I would like to share with you a little perspective into what is happening after we will experience the LA fires. As you guys may know, in end of January of this year, we encountered one of the worst fires that we could experience. In fact, this is dubbed the biggest catastrophe we experienced in actually in the modern history because of the sheer amount of monetary losses we experienced. Let's read through the numbers. Estimated that between 15,000 to 20,000 buildings were burned to the ground by this fire. As well, translated to money is between 250 to 275 billion dollars that were gone up in smoke. Now, let's look at where does it go to real estate. It is speculated that a lot of these people were going to move out of California because, we've been hearing all the same headlines. Too much crime in California. The prices are too expensive where regular people cannot make a living, lack of opportunities, and better opportunities when you can actually buy, one house in Southern California can buy you three houses, let's say in Texas, two of the most popular places where people migrated to were Texas and Florida. They have their own issues, as we may know. The home prices went down. Well, as we can see, from January to January, by the end of January, the prices did go down 0.8%, less than 1%. However, is it due to the fire? Is actually yet to be known because traditionally, winter times where prices in real estate go stagnant, they stay pretty stable, or sometimes they dip a little bit, but it will not dip to a level to this less than the gain that happens during the summertime. In fact, the numbers point out that in February, from month to month, prices went up 1.5%. So the next month, from January to February, went up that amount, and year to date, from last February to this February, prices went up 5.9%. So let's say if the price of a property was worth 850,000, then this year that same property is worth $900,000. So you can do the math over there. Now, what does it mean like moving forward? Because it is speculated that in order to rebuild all these properties and rebuild the infrastructure was lost, it would take about 10 years, a decade. Why is that? Because, well, consider this that these properties were in the Palisades, in the Pacific Palisades, and this road is too narrow for having too many heavy machinery working there constantly. It would take for this heavy equipment to transport building materials, and because the whole city, it's not just one house or two houses, it's the whole city that's burned down. They required a lot of heavy machinery. So and they will require to work, around the clock, which is not going to happen. Therefore, it would take around this time to finish or get close to finish working and rebuilding. Another thing that is mentioned also is that the amount of debris, all these materials that are not toxic, is actually affecting the ocean or the coast area, and also the air which you breathe is going to affect, your health. So a lot of these things are actually being considered and saying that, well, people don't want to move in back into these areas. Again, that is speculation. But let's not focus on that. Let's talk about what is the alternative. If you think about it, if you actually think about, well, we have all this vast land that is prime for repairs. And one thing that was is that a lot of this infrastructure is over 100 years and is due to be replaced anyways. So this creates a real opportunity for this infrastructure that needed to be replaced anyways to be replaced, rip off and put it in a way that is well modernized per se. If you think about it, it is easier and less expensive to actually build from the ground up than to repair a old building. Like the structures there existing, and you have to change the pipes or change whatever needs to be changed. Some renovations, and one of the things that I learned by doing fix and flips is that the constructors or the contractors tell me that yeah, it would be way cheaper. Like for example, there was once one building that had structural foundation problems, and the way that they had to do it is that they had to use little hydraulic like cranes to lift the building so that they can actually pull out the cables, the old cables, and the old plumbing from the bottom, and then slowly insert all these plumbing structures and all these metal vines to secure the building. And the contractor told me that it would be way cheaper if this didn't exist and just build from the ground up. Of course, you incur a different type of pricing, but yeah, it'd be easier. Cheaper, debatable, but easier, yes, because without the need to leave the old building and put it back again, all you have to do is build from the ground up. Now, take of that in consideration in these areas that are affected, and it's going to also be extended from these areas to LA itself. In fact, this is what the program is called, LA 2.0 Smart City Program. And I can tell you a few highlights that I think is worth mentioning. One is sustainable infrastructure, because we know that these materials that were used 100 years ago, some of them what asbestos and burn is actually bad for you. We're going to stop using that kind of materials. We're going to be using green building practices so that it's going to be biodegradable in case of some fires. Expanding the public transportation, we know that LA is bad, and the 405 freeway is one of the worst freeways in the entire US. In fact, when they shut it down, I think like they closed it down a few times, and they call it Carmageddon because it was so bad during rush hour. They needed to fix things. So public transportation is going to be expanded, and if we have the advent of self-driving cars, then that's going to alleviate the need for a lot of cars in the road, which is going to help with traffic. Another one we have is improvement of water management, which is a big one. One of the reasons that caused these fires to be uncontrollable was because there was lack of water. Now, that's for the infrastructure, which, as I mentioned, it is easier if you have to build it from scratch rather than replace. So building, replace. Technology integration. This is not. It's a fact that Southern California, we have the best technologies and the first to implement technology. In fact, the first electric cars were introduced here in California, and we are the ones pioneering to have public charging stations. So with technology integration, we can see more of this, more charging stations. We can have more of this internet accessibility. In fact, in my home, I just changed my internet cabling, the Wi-Fi, and what I received a box, just a big box about this height, and all you have to do is connect it to electricity, and the internet comes from a satellite. I don't need to connect any more Ethernet cable, which to what I see is amazing. I can take this box and take it anywhere, and I just have internet. And I think Tesla have those available. I think it's called Intralink, something link. But yeah, internet is going to be accessible anywhere, which allows us to see. We get what's it called? Are we going to be allowed to get alert if there's any type of danger or hazard dangers, fire or earthquake, any type of danger will be alert beforehand. So this kind of interconnectivity is going to be AI driven. On top of that, we're going to have also AI-driven GPS and AI-driven self-directed cars. Now, self-driving cars is just to be seen, but if that is pulled off, then you can see the value of real estate here increase even more. We have also community engagement and equity. This is going to be hiring and prioritizing local infrastructure projects and have strategies so I can create more affordable housing. We can see that California is one of the first one to implement the ADU laws. And we're seeing that if this ADU laws coupled with self-driving vehicles, that's going to alleviate the need for parking, which give more density to the area. Now, and that's going to explode the value of real estate. So you thought that real estate right now in Southern California is expensive. Wait a few years, it's going to get even more pricey. And yeah, and the last thing is resilience. We're going to create buildings that are more urban green, that is going to be resilient also to wildfires and ways to prevent wildfire areas, houses in wildfire areas to be burned. I remember seeing one property in the news that says that didn't burn down because they have measures to prevent the fires to go around it. Come to find out that that property belongs to Tom Hanks. So whatever he did, he engineered in a way that everybody around his house burned except his. And with that is, I see, just to give you that idea, I don't want to give too much into detailed numbers, but just roughly, the city of LA has about 9 million people. And oh no, the county of LA has about 9 million people. Added to Ventura County, Riverside County, San Bernardino County, San Diego County. Add all those, Southern California is about 20 million people. A few will go and a lot will come. And we expect this uh, population to grow mainly because there's no other economy that allows anybody to come here and get this opportunity to grow and expand, whether it's your business or personally, or getting more of a satisfying and ease of living. California has the best weather and one of the best ways to get first-hand experience technology that's going to make life easier. Now, of course, this is just an oversimplified explanation of what to expect with this Los LA City 2.0 or Smart City. But yeah, you have to learn more. You want to contact me to discuss more. My name is Gary Yao, and I will talk to you soon.